everybody, welcome back to Art Ladle and Spade. It has been a minute since I've popped in here and showed my face, but I am going to walk through a couple of things that I have been doing and some updates on what has been growing down in the grow light space and also up in the sunroom. And then I've also moved plants that were in the garage overwintering, and I've moved them outside, and hopefully they'll be okay because we're going to be expecting some frost over the next couple of days, so I'm a little bit worried about those. But for the most part, I'm going to walk you through and talk in each video that I post within this one, and detail some of the ideas I have and some of the things that I'm going to change a bit. And I will come back in over the weekend and I will talk about what I am moving to bigger pots, what I'm going to leave alone until it gets a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to talk about some of my legginess that's going on. It has not necessarily been as sunny as I would hope for it to be for the sunroom, and some of my seedlings are getting leggy, but then I've realized with reading that some of the legginess is okay for some of those flowers or some of those seedlings. And I lost my ranunculus corms. I will talk about those. I knew that I did, but I was holding out hope that I didn't kill them with not preparing them correctly, but I did. And so I went ahead and got rid of those. And I also had a few seedlings that didn't do well. And out of the, I'll say 50 or so of each different flower type, there are a couple that didn't do well. And I went ahead and got rid of those just to really make some space for the seedlings that I will be bringing upstairs from the grow light space, and my Dutch iris, and there's another one coming out of the refrigerator today. I'm bringing it out a week early, which I think is going to be okay, but I'm going to go ahead and pot up my hyacinth and my Dutch iris. Those are the last two bulbs in the refrigerator, and I will get those potted up this weekend. A lot of things going on in my front yard, so I'm going to walk around my front yard and again show you a lot of what's going on. In the videos I talked, but I'm going to go ahead and I am going to do a voiceover so I can actually name the flowers in there that I wasn't able to name while I was walking around that space. I also have a video towards the end of the garage, which is almost finished. And again, the significance of the garage is because it has afforded me the opportunity to do what I want to do in the backyard, because we had to have trees cut down, ripped out, whatever, and I have now a blank canvas. So the garage, number one, because it's cool, but number two, because it's allowing me to be able to do what I want to do. I really love the way the backyard space is looking with the new garden bed and the fountain that I've moved. It is so pretty looking out the kitchen window and looking out the sunroom door. It's so pretty to see the flagstone, even though the flagstone isn't set, even though the fountain hasn't been cleaned yet. It's made such a big difference looking out there from the kitchen. And I'm so excited about what this summer is going to bring. You know, I have big hopes that all of this would be able to be completed by this summer, and it's just not going to happen. There's too many big things that need to happen in order for me to get back in the back part of the yard. So, you know, there's going to be a few projects for next summer, which is fine. You know, I will continue doing this channel until whenever, until I get tired of it. But my hope is that you all will be able to see from beginning to end the entire backyard. But realistically speaking, I will not get it done all this summer, unfortunately. So stay tuned as I walk you through the front yard. I show you what's going on in the backyard, and I show you what's going on downstairs in the grow light space, and also upstairs in the sunroom. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome back to Art Ladle and Spade. We are standing in the backyard and we are staring at my first AI inspired garden, and it is almost finished. I have a few more rocks that I want to move around and a few more places where I don't like the gaps, but for the most part this is it. And planted in here, these are not going to stay, but right now the sedum will stay, but the hellebore and the grass, and there are a few other plants in here. I believe they're irises. And there are some 4 o'clocks in here. Those are going to be moved. I had these in my garage and I was concerned that they were starting to sprout and grow new arms and all the things that they were doing in the garage, and a few hostas. And some of the plants that I dug up out here are now in this space. And I plan to move them once I finish creating my third AI inspired garden. And then I will put the new flowers that I'm growing currently inside. They will go in here, and I'll spread those throughout this space here. We got a chance to move the fountain, and I keep using fountain and bird bath interchangeably, but this is the fountain that I have been wanting to go out here. And I'm very happy with the fact that it's here. It's beautiful. It needs to be cleaned up a bit, and there's a crack in it, and so it leaks a little bit, so we're gonna have to figure that out. This is where the second area, the second AI inspired garden is gonna go, and I'm gonna go out to my trunk in a minute to show you all my Facebook find. I found my new best friend today on Facebook Marketplace. She posted some rocks, and 41 minutes later I saw it, and 30 minutes later I was in her backyard. And the great thing about this is she's actually getting rid of some areas of rock in her backyard and a huge pile of dirt that has uncovered a ton of rocks. So she has taken the post down, and she says that I can have all of them, and once I get what I want, if there's any left over, she'll repost it. But very nice lady, very happy that I found this, and I was able to get over there and today, and I'll try to get back over there 2 more times over the weekend. But I got a lot of rocks. So this space here will be a larger rock space, and I'm going to use a lot of my huge rocks that I have here, and then I have some rocks along the driveway that are going to be in this space now, because my husband's actually going to redo that side of the driveway. And so lucky me, I will get those rocks. The flagstones still not have been placed permanently, but this is how I want the flagstone to look. And on this side, on the left side, on my end, this will be another flagstone path over here. I'm going to walk around to the back side of this area so you all can see what I have done. So like I said, the flagstone will stay here. It'll get placed, so I have to dig up some spots and place it down in the dirt. And this area here, I will eventually put a perennial in there, or maybe even a yucca or yucca, however you pronounce it. And I have found a place, I believe this is mondo grass. I keep saying mondo grass, but I'm not sure if it's mondo grass. But this is the grass that I dug up from over on the other side, and I put it here, and I'm hoping it will survive because I really like the way that it looks up against the rock. And then if I can go here, these rocks will be moved, but if I can go down to here to this corner with the mondo grass, I plan on doing that, and then the rest of this area will be mulch. I'm not planting anything here, so this deviates a bit from the AI picture created because nothing grows here. There's a lot of roots here, and the hostas that I did have, they just stayed very small. They didn't thrive, and I think there's just too many roots right here. And so I will mulch this here, and then I will either put rocks in between here, and this new path will start here. So right now I'm kind of trying to figure out, do I want to mulch this or do I want to put rocks? I really like the way those rocks look where the pot is sitting. And then here, where this big rock is, will start the second AI inspired garden. And I plan for it to go out pretty far. Where the fern is, I want to have a conifer, a weeping conifer, so either a weeping atlas. There's another one that I saw at Home Depot this weekend. So the fern is just there temporarily. It needed to get out of the garage and get some sun and water. And then here I found some more grass. Now I'm telling on myself because I said I was not going to purchase any perennials, but this is grass. So to me, it's the same as buying a tree. If you disagree, that's okay. But I found this on sale, and I got this for $17.50 a piece. And this is the muhly grass. So I have 3 plugs inside that I'll show you that I ordered off of Amazon. And then I found these in the clearance over at Pike. And I love muhly grass, so I bought it. I'm not sure where it's gonna go yet, but I have to pan back over here to how pretty this space looks. And although it's gonna change a bit, I love the way it looks right now. And I love the way that it looks when I'm standing at the kitchen window. All right, I'm gonna go show you my trunk, my find. This is my haul. It's not there. It's not as heavy as it looks. I've been doing this probably longer than I should have in my car, but this is the haul that I got today from my new friend's yard, and she has tons more. So I will be able to do everything I want to do in that front space with this Facebook Marketplace find. So very happy. I'm going to take you around my islands because I pulled up in the driveway today and I saw everything that's coming up. So I'm going to take you over to my islands that I've created over the past 2 years. Okay, so this is my first island that I created when I got onto this thing of being out in the yard. And excuse some of the lights, I see some of the lights need to be fixed, and my plan is to go around and remeasure all of the placement of the lighting and redo the lighting, but let's focus on the garden. So I do not remember the names of a lot of these, but I will post them in text in the video. But this is what it looks like so far. So this right here, I should know the name, I don't, but I did not know that this was going to live throughout the winter. And I wish I would have gotten more. I do have this in my other island, but I'm so happy with it. And then I have an olive tree there. And then I have 4 rose bushes that I was able to get from a neighbor's home. They tore out her front yard after she moved, and I was able to get her rose bushes. This one I wasn't sure was gonna make it. We dug these up in the heat of summer, and it lived. This is a 40-year-old rose bush, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's doing really well, and I've been feeding them since they were placed here. And this one had a disease last year, but I gave it some fertilizer, and I sprayed it with something, I don't remember, but it recovered beautifully, because this is not what it looked like in the middle of the summer. It was looking really bad, and I wasn't sure it was going to make it, but it made it. So this is my second rose bush. Here is the 3rd rose bush here. Again, this was dug up in the middle of, it was hot. It was so hot. I can't even believe that I was out there working in the yard. And then this is another rose bush here from the same yard. So everything's really happy. I hate that you can see my shadow. Me and my shadow. Okay, so this was my first island, and then I'm gonna walk you over to my second island. I'm gonna start on this side of the island. This is my weeping atlas, and I am absolutely obsessed with this. I have 2 of them, and I'll show you my other one, but I absolutely love this. And I got this at the end of last summer. And these are my yucca or yucca, however you pronounce it. And I keep these trimmed up. I go underneath and I cut the bottoms. And these things multiply like crazy. So if you don't watch it, you're gonna have 9 million of them. But their root system is bananas. I dug these up from another yard, another Facebook find for free. And I got in over my head because once I started digging them up, number one, I was not dressed for the occasion, and my arms looked like I was in a whole fight once I got home. But these were a bear to dig up, and I just did not have all of the proper tools, but I was determined, so they came home with me. And I have several. So there's 5 in this area, and then I have 3 here, and then I have 2 over there. And there are my irises are coming up. And so I realized last year that I was planting my rhizomes too deep in the dirt, and they need sun. and they didn't do very well in the beginning, but once I realized that they needed to be, the rhizomes need to be exposed, then they took off. So this is the other area where I bought this, and don't remember what it is, but it stayed beautiful for the whole winter, and just very happy with it. I wish I would have gotten more. These are 2 more rose bushes. So this rose bush here is actually one, it was very tiny when I got it, but this is one that my husband bought me for Mother's Day. And here is another rose bush that I got from a neighbor's yard. A lot of this stuff I'm gonna have to, there's some cleanup that needs to be done and some things that I need to cut back a bit, but I'm gonna wait for a couple more weeks. We're supposed to get another cold snap over the next couple of nights, so I'm a little worried, but this same thing happened last year and everything was fine. So this is the second rose garden, and I will show the summer pictures of this as well, because it's what it looks like in the summer is gorgeous. Now I did have some spider lilies. I had a lot of spider lilies along this area here, and I dug those up because they took over, and I was told that they were going to take over, but clearly I'm hard-headed, and I went ahead and planted them anyway, and then I got overwhelmed with them because they were smothering my other plants, so I dug probably 20 of those up and gave those away. But this is the second island. A lot of different textures, a lot of different plants. Everything in here, clearly, they're perennials. And I have a lot of different ground cover. And this is my creeping, I believe that's creeping thyme down there that I'm trying to grow in the house. But like I said, it needs to be cleaned up a bit, so I'll definitely pop back in once it gets cleaned up. But this is the second garden, and this is year 3 of this garden. And this weeping atlas is new. I got this at the end of the summer. All right, so we're gonna go to garden number 3. This is garden number 3, and there is my largest, I guess maybe second to the largest, Japanese maple. I absolutely love her. And so she was placed in the center. It was an afterthought. I saw her and I wasn't gonna let her go. And you see my corabells in there, and my Japanese, I forgot what it's called. Japanese myrtle? Japanese? It's something. But I can't remember what this is called, but it gets really big, and so at some point I'm gonna have to move the 2 that are just on either side of the Japanese maple. But this is the second island, and I'll go back through and name all the flowers. And this is the Lirio, or Liriope, however you pronounce it. And this was all from a neighbor's home, and this is the third year. And this all came back beautifully, so I'm excited for all of this to fill in. So this is my third one. This is not my 4th island. This is not my 4th island, but I'm showing you my 4th island because this is where the Japanese maple obsession went to the next level. So there are 3 Japanese maples in here, and I'm absolutely obsessed. And the 2 on this side are gonna go vertical, and this one here will flop over. And the names of all of these have slipped my mind, which is horrible. But this is a very common, crimson, thank you. It's crimson Japanese maple. And I will name the other ones in the video as well. This is the last island that I created, and then there was an island that I expanded. But this here is lantana. And this lantana took over this whole area, and it was so pretty. And this was another Japanese maple that I acquired last year. And I've got a lot of different flowers in here, and I don't remember the names of any of them, but here again are more of the lantana. And then here's more sedum. This is ground cover down here, and I don't remember. I think it's called tickle something tickle. I don't remember. And so this is the island. And sorry, there's the bus. And here are my calla lilies. No, these are canna lilies here, and these were massive last year. The leaves on here got just enormous. But a lot of things coming up, so I'm gonna have to come in here and cut back all of the dead stuff. I was told to leave the dead stuff on because it helps protect it, and so I left it on. But everything's coming back and everything looks happy. But again, I'm worried about the frost that's gonna occur over the next couple of nights. So we'll see. All right, on to the 5th island. So this is actually the 7th island. And I have I have a weeping atlas in here, and on the corner, that one I was in love with and couldn't walk away from her. I found that one at Home Depot. And this one here I found at a nursery in Tennessee. I literally drove to Tennessee to get her. And then these are these are butterfly bushes, I believe. I can't think of the names of these, I apologize, but there's 3 of them and they smell amazing. Now, I believe, unfortunately, because I did not know what I was doing, I believe I killed this hydrangea. I cut this back at the end of this summer, and I don't know that I was supposed to do that, so we'll see whether or not this comes back. This one here, this hole here, I will show you. This is one of the ones that didn't make it. Matter of fact, I'll show you which one it is. I'm not sure why it didn't make it, but this is it right here. And she's very happy here, but for some reason the other one did not like being in that corner, and she didn't make it. So I got it from Pikes, and I'll be able to return it. I'm gonna take you on the back side of my other favorite conifer, but she's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And she'll just be floppy like this, and just love her. These are ligustrum, I believe, and I got these. They were a steal. Now these look completely different than they did when I first purchased them. This is the 3rd year that I've had these, and the first year it was fine. Second year, they both looked like they were dying off. I cut them back significantly, and I placed a fertilizer stick down in them, and they are coming back. So I'm not sure what was going on, but I was able to get to both of them before they died. Here's Russian sage in here that is coming back to life. I made the mistake of the first year I got my Russian sage, I cut it back, and I wasn't supposed to because my neighbor's is massive, and clearly she wasn't cutting hers back, and I cut mine back. So I'm excited for that to come back. And here's my gardenia bush here. And like I said, once I go back through the video, I'll name all of the plants and shrubs in each of the islands. This is my 8th island over here. Walking over here. This is my 8th island. This is my 10th island. This is the last island I created. And I had some help from my son's friend. And all this crocosmia in here is from a lady that I found on Facebook. And I don't remember what else is in here, but I'll go back through the pictures as stated in all of my other videos, and I will name everything that's in here. But this one gets really full and beautiful. And my little statues also from the lady's house where I collected the rose bushes. So again, I've got to go through all of my islands and clear out the leaves and cut back all of the dead leaves and things. But everything's coming to life. My creeping Jenny, I love creeping Jenny. I wish I had a whole yard of creeping Jenny. I wouldn't even want grass. But my creeping Jenny is very happy. All right, I've got to go unload my rocks. Hi everyone, it is Wednesday. And this is my sweet pea that is getting very long because I need to repot it. And the sun has not been out, so it's been reaching for the stars. So this is my sweet pea over here, very tall, and my sweet William. Here down here is these are my zinnias. I repotted these and I actually buried the stem a little bit lower down into the dirt, but it's reaching again. And I've moved my orange ice and my red ice plants back upstairs. They were downstairs in the sunroom. I'm sorry, under the grow light, and it didn't seem to change anything. They're still alive, and from what I've been reading, it's okay for them to be lying down. Here are my crocus and my little hosta. Here are the rest of my crocus. No, here's some more. And I still don't have anything going on in my creeping thyme that I transplanted the 2 different pots, and nothing's going on with my hosta seeds. This is my caladium, still nothing. Here are my corbels. Here are more crocus. I'm going to show you the really big crocus. So these are the zinnias. Again, repotted these and they continue to stretch. Here are my hostas. I'm soaking these right here. I've been rotating plants all day, soaking them. And here are my bee balm. They're getting big. I need to start thinning these. I should have done that already. My astilbe, huge, 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 huge. And I soaked those today. Here are my blanket flower. Blanket flower is insane. Very, very happy. And this is my alyssum. This is my coneflower. Here is my black-eyed Susan here. And my summerberries yarrow. And here is my blazing star from seed. More crocus. I told you they were getting big. And we're gonna go over here. This is my muhly grass that I got as plugs from Amazon. Got 3 of them. Here are more of my hostas. Just finished soaking all of these. My tick seed, very happy. And up here, some more blanket flower that I thinned out. Here are, this is a mix. This is tick seed, lupin, and sweet William in the front. Here you've got my Gara flower. It seems to be doing better now that I've moved it upstairs away from the grow light. Very interesting. More blanket flower, more astilbe, and more astilbe here. This is my caladium. I watered these today. There's nothing going on there. Here are my lupin that I transplanted. All seem to be doing well. And my blanket flower here. This is the creeping thyme that is out of control. Out of control. And here's my heirloom yarrow. All of my heirloom yarrow looks really good. So as you notice down here, the floor is bare. That's because I finally came to terms with my corms. My ranunculus corms are dead. They didn't make it. We're gonna pop outside for a second. Okay, we are downstairs and we are looking at the new garage that is almost completed. We're waiting on garage doors to be installed. The windows were installed along with the siding and this walkway. It had to be attached to the house per our county. And I'm gonna walk you over inside. It's huge. So there we go. This is, see if I can go far enough back. This is it. Technically it's an RV garage, but my husband wanted this to be able to put a lift inside so he can work on his truck and other vehicles. And I'm gonna walk inside so you all can see what it looks like in here, but it's pretty cool. Very huge, big difference. There's the door. My husband actually installed the door. He's pretty handy. He's actually very handy. And here's the inside, and it goes high up. And we're gonna go upstairs. Not much has changed other than the windows, but it just looks really nice. And here's the upstairs. The windows are up here. Looks very nice. Lots of windows, lots of light. And this area will be finished off. And then when you're up here, you will be able to look down to see what's going on. So, electric is wired. He's got these really cool lights up here. It gets really bright with those lights. So this is the garage. It is almost finished. Very cool. Very cool to see this start from nothing and get to where it is now. And the significance of this garage for me is that is allowing me to create the backyard that I've wanted. Now that we have torn out all the trees over here, it just gives us a lot of space, blank canvas to do what we want. I'll walk up there later, but it's really muddy. It's been rainy and that clay is just gross.